The trip to the border this last week was very educational, and I had visited the border several years ago in the Trump administration, and we saw the different policies that were being implemented at that time. What I saw on this trip to the border was infinitely worse. What we saw was the policy of catch and release, where we encountered a number of groups, and as Senator Barrasso had described, these two little girls who were afraid and alone. It was very appalling. Each one of them, it had cost their family $8,000 each to traffic them across the border. But we also heard stories from the Border Patrol agents about just a few days ahead of that, another 5- and 6-year-old that had been trafficked to the border. Only in that instance, those that had been smuggling those little girls had brutally sexually assaulted them, 5 and 6 years old, so badly that emergency medical response personnel had to be called. And this is not a rarity. About 30% of the women and girls that are being trafficked up to the border are sexually assaulted by the coyotes. And those are the ones that report. And Border Patrol estimates that it is twice that amount that are actually assaulted. So about 60% of those women and girls. This is appalling. And yet we have an administration that's really complicit by continuing to encourage people to be smuggled to our border with an open border policy. We really have to assist our Border Patrol agents protect the borders of our nation and make sure that we're not encouraging catch and release. It only encourages people to send their children up to the border to release them into the United States. And all along the way, those coyotes, those smugglers know and understand they can do whatever they want to those humans that are being pushed to the border with no repercussions. And they're just becoming wealthier and wealthier. The second issue there that is impacting Iowa directly is the issue of methamphetamine and fentanyl. I-35 ran right up through that sector of the border and comes straight up to Iowa. My communities are being impacted by methamphetamine. Every state is now a border state, and we're seeing the impacts of the border crisis in real time every day in our communities.